the retired tax collector who defeated the worldly with innocence, Henri Rousseau. Henri Rousseau's life felt like a serendipitous adventure orchestrated by fate. He never set foot in a distant tropical jungle, yet became the world's most celebrated painter of them. He was a tax collector by profession, yet came to be one of the most peculiar and unforgettable figures in the Paris art scene. Born in 1844 in Laval, France, Rousseau grew up in a modest household. His father was a blacksmith, and the family lived with financial strain. In his youth, he worked as a clerk in a law office, but was forced to leave early due to a minor mistake. He attempted a stint in the military, but served only a short time. It was during this period that Rousseau encountered tales from faraway lands, stories told by soldiers who had fought in France's expedition to Mexico. They spoke of Central America's wild and mysterious lands, dense jungles, strange animals, humid air, and dangerous expeditions. Though Rousseau had never seen any of these places himself, the stories planted the first seeds of the jungle in his imagination. After leaving the military, Rousseau returned to Paris and became a low-level customs officer, inspecting duties on wines and spirits. This job would later earn him the nickname Le Douanier Rousseau, Customs Officer Rousseau. At that time, Paris was in the midst of an artistic boom. Impressionism, symbolism, and post-impressionism were flourishing. Yet Rousseau had never received formal training. He was entirely self-taught. In his spare time, he picked up a paintbrush, laboriously copying illustrations, learning sketching from scratch. With only children's books, museum taxidermy, tropical plants in botanical gardens, and tales from soldiers as reference, he began piecing together his imagined foreign world. His iconic jungle paintings, The Dream, Tiger in a Tropical Storm, The Snake Charmer, and others were filled with vivid colors, strange compositions, and intricate detail. Enormous leaves, coiled snakes, beasts lurking behind foliage, and moonlight that was both soft and eerie, all fused into scenes that felt surreal and dreamlike. With an imagination beyond compare, Rousseau portrayed a world far beyond Paris, mysterious and alive. At first, his paintings were only accepted at the Salon des Refusés, the exhibition for rejected works. Critics often mocked his art as childlike fantasy illustrations. Yet Rousseau never wavered in his belief in his art. He proudly called himself the jungle painter and spoke passionately about his creative philosophy. "When I step into the botanical garden," he once said, "and stand before the tropical greenhouse, I feel as though I'm in a faraway jungle." His imagination compensated for reality's absence. His brush took him to lands he had never visited. Legend has it that Pablo Picasso, already a renowned artist at the time, once stumbled upon a Rousseau painting at a flea market. He was so intrigued that he hosted a grand banquet of honor for Rousseau at his own home, inviting the Paris art elite. That night, Rousseau, the untrained customs officer, became the star, and for the first time, people began to take him seriously as a self-made genius. One incident in 1907 was especially dramatic. Rousseau was duped into involvement in a forged promissory note scheme by a con artist. In court, the judge looked at Rousseau's naive and guileless paintings and concluded he had been deceived out of pure innocence. He was given a suspended sentence. In Rousseau's art, you won't find the natural realism of the Barbizon School, the light and shadow of the Impressionists, or the formal experimentation of the Cubists. His world was his own innocent, awkward, fantastical, and brimming with a strange poetic purity. As art critic Guillaume Apollinaire once said, Rousseau's greatness lies in the fact that he was influenced by no school. He created a world entirely his own. In 1910, Rousseau died of blood poisoning at the age of 66. He never received true recognition from mainstream art institutions during his lifetime. Yet, after his death, his work became a touchstone for countless modern artists. The raw, untrained quality of his paintings came to symbolize modern art's pursuit of innocence and authenticity. The miracle of Rousseau's life was not in his technical mastery, but in his unclouded vision. He viewed the world like a child, painting his tropical dreams in the most direct way. The jungle always grew in his heart, and his canvas became the eternal place where that dream lived on.